Hello and welcome to this presentation about the DPS instructional technology systems that teachers and staff use in the district to access technology and do their jobs as staff and teachers. There is a link on this slide that will give you access to this deck for future reference. There's a lot of information linked out in this resource, so please take note of the tiny URL at the bottom of this slide. It is case sensitive, so make sure the DPS NEW is in all caps, and please use that as a reference. All right, let's get going. So just to let you know who can support you, this is the DPS Educational Technology Team. We are part of the larger STEAM department in DPS under the Teaching and Learning umbrella. But all of these folks, most of these folks, are digital coaches, instructional coaches, who can actually come out and support teachers in their classrooms with the integration of instructional technology, showing them best practices on how teachers can use technology to facilitate their instruction and how students can use technology to enhance their learning. So please, there's a link in the middle of this slide that you can click on to find out which of these coaches supports your school and your teachers. Please reach out to these folks, fantastic group of educators who really know the ins and outs of instructional technology in DPS. This slide, this acronym, is actually the Denver Extensive Acronym List. In DPS, we love to use acronyms. And for new teachers especially, this can cause a lot of confusion, just not knowing, hold on, did you say CLO or SLO? So you can actually click on this link, the DEAL, and actually there's like a glossary of acronyms and their meanings in DPS. So it's a very useful resource, especially for new educators and new staff in the district trying to navigate all the acronyms we tend to use. And to clarify, how we support teachers with technology in the district. So technology itself is supported by DOTS, our Department of Technology Services. And at your school, you should have one of these two roles, an STR, a school technology representative, or a DOTS partner. That is a person who works at DOTS but is hired by the school to come in several days, many days a week to support the school with technology. And that means helping them with things that are broken, laptop screen not working, internet access is doing something weird, or also supporting with the repair and support of student Chromebooks. So a little bit different role. So the DOTS partners and STRs are more on the technical side of helping teachers troubleshoot problems with their technology and fix those. If you need to reach out and not sure who to go to in your building, at the bottom of the screen is the DOTS hotline. You can always email that and submit an incident with a request for support, for technology support, or you can call their direct hotline number down at the bottom of the screen as well. Again, so these are the school technology representative. That might be somebody at your school who is a teacher who is also in charge of helping support the technology in the school, and a DOTS partner. So a little different role than the instructional coaches you saw on the last slide, whose job is to come in and help with the pedagogical side of integrating technology into teaching and learning. This slide kind of delineates the different roles that these different people have. In the green bubbles are what the STRs and DOTS partners can help support with. Again, network difficulties, device repair, if you're having difficulty accessing certain systems with logins, the DOTS partners and STRs can help with that. The orange bubbles are questions you might want to go to your school admin team with, like policies around technology, certain systems used in your school. You can check with your grade level team as well. And then the blue bubbles are what the EdTech instructional coaches can help with. So this is a useful slide just to kind of delineate who to go to for what sort of question. Let's get into the DPS systems that you will be using as an educator in DPS. We have many systems in DPS. It can be a little overwhelming at times, but we're going to try to break this down and give you a walkthrough of the main systems that you'll be interfacing with and encountering in DPS. On the left, Teacher Portal. It's an excellent resource. If you click, all these links of the words are hyperlinked to these systems, so you should be able to, from this slide, click and get access to these systems. The Teacher Portal is a wonderful kind of landing spot that has links to almost everything else you'll need. So if you're never sure kind of where to find access to something, try looking in Teacher Portal, and you'll probably be able to find the systems that you need there. Further on in this deck, there will be some screenshots from Teacher Portal with some of the main tools highlighted that kind of shows you all the links and kind of jumping off pages you can find in Teacher Portal. Down below that is our student information system. It's called Infinite Campus. This is the system we use to track all the details about students in the district. This is the system that you will use as an educator to take attendance in your classes. You can find your class rosters in Infinite Campus. Lots of information on students. You can really dig in. You can find communication information there to reach out to a certain student's family, either by phone or email. All of that is housed in Infinite Campus. And again, check with your school about kind of which features of Infinite Campus they're leveraging at the school, because that can vary by site. In the middle and the top is our substitute teacher request platform program. It's called SmartFind Express. You'll need to, hopefully you'll be set up with a login to that. So that's the system that you will use if and when you need to request a guest teacher, a substitute in your classroom to come in if you're out for whatever reason. So that's an important one to get familiar with and set up early, because when you need it, you're probably not going to be feeling well. You don't want to have to figure it out then. So SmartFind Express is the platform for that. On the upper right is Google Workspace. We are a Google Workspace district, so we use all the Google tools: Gmail, Calendar, Google Drive, Google Meets, Docs, Slides, Sheets, etc. within DPS. And your single DPS Google login gets you access to all those platforms. In the bottom right is the Employee Action Center. This is an older screenshot, looks a little different now. It's found on what's called the Commons, which we'll talk about in a second. But this is a great resource for any questions about payroll, human resources, professional learning via Learning Space. Lots of kind of district-specific human resources information is found in the Employee Action Center. And finally, in the middle, we use a system called Duo as a two-step verification or a multi-factor authentication system in DPS. So when you go to log in for the first time in the day to, say, Infinite Campus or Teacher Portal, you may be asked to verify your identity through Duo. Most teachers choose to do this through their cell phones. There's an app you can get, which then on your cell phone, you'll say, yep, it's me, I approve, and that will authenticate your access into these systems. So just to be aware that there is that step just to secure your identity. I mentioned the Commons on the last page where you can find the Employee Action Center. This is our DPS intranet. It's a separate website that DPS employees can access to get lots of information. When you go to this website, which is at thecommons.dpsk12.org, all you need to do is click the button at the bottom. It says log in with Google. You don't have to type anything in the top fields, just log in with Google. If you're already logged into your DPS Google account, it will take those credentials and fill it in for you. And then on the Commons, you can find that Employee Action Center with those HR resources, a directory of all DPS departments. So if you ever need to know who's my math curriculum person, you can go to the Commons, find the math department, and at least get contact information to reach out to their department directly. All the DPS school year and work year calendars are housed on the Commons if you need to find those. There's also an archive of DPS newsletters. Many newsletters are emailed out to staff and teachers. They can sometimes get lost in your email. Lots going on. If you ever need to go back and reference a specific newsletter, you can find an archive of those on the Commons. And again, access to those financial services and payroll departments is also found on the Commons. Really good tip is to use your bookmarks. In your browser, we suggest using the Google Chrome browser because it integrates well with all the other Google platforms we use in the district. If you're at a website, say Infinite Campus, and you want to get back to it easily, you can hit the little star up in next to the address of that website, and that will bookmark it, and then you can have your bookmarks bar displayed here, giving you easy access to all the tools in DPS. You're not trying to remember website addresses and type them in all the time. Just bookmark those. You can get to those very easily that way. PowerSchool. PowerSchool is a company that we have contracts with. They make and maintain and provide a lot of different tools that we use in the district. At the top, you'll see that Smart Find Express, that substitute system, is actually a PowerSchool tool. Down below, 3 of the big tools that you'll be integrating with or interfacing with as a teacher are Schoology. That's our learning management system. All of the district's K-12 courses are housed in Schoology, and it is a virtual online learning platform that you as a teacher can create and modify courses or materials that then students who are enrolled in your courses can access. So it's a way to provide instruction in an online environment, and because we use this district-wide, all of your students are automatically rostered into your courses that are created for you. You don't have to do any of this course or rostering work on your own manually. It's done at the central level because we use the system district-wide. Some of the features within Schoology for students, in addition to, say, turning in a writing assignment or something, there are also features that allow students to demonstrate their understanding via audio. They could record a quick audio clip talking about what they learned in lab that day in chemistry. They could even video themselves or show a demonstration of this is how I solved the math problem. So there are lots of multimedia ways that students can leverage Schoology and provide you as an instructor more insight into how the students are learning. The next segment at the bottom is called Performance Matters. That is the assessment module of PowerSchool. If you were in the district previously, we used a system called Illuminate. That is gone, and that has been replaced by Performance Matters. This will be, again, a very powerful integrated platform that will allow students to take assessments via Performance Matters, and then all that data and reporting will be much easier for you as a teacher, instructor, to get the data back to inform your instruction. Lastly, at the bottom right is a platform called Curriculum and Instruction. It's also sometimes known as Chalk, like a chalkboard, or Chalk C&I. Lots of names for the same things. It's a little bit confusing. But this is the curriculum bank and lesson planning platform for teachers. So all of the district curriculum, say for 6th grade social studies, is already built into this platform for you as a 6th grade social studies teacher to easily access, pull into your Schoology courses. You don't have to be building or figuring out what should I be teaching. Your curriculum is in there for you to access and then utilize. And there's also a lesson planning platform in there that lets you build out and schedule easily how you're going to deliver your curriculum. In Schoology also, apart from the courses that you will have and that your students will access, there's a section called Groups. And you can join, if you want to, curriculum groups of different content areas. Let's say, again, you're a 6th grade literacy teacher. You could join the DPS 6th grade literacy curriculum group, And there's instructions on how to do that up here. How do I join a group? And then the access code for each specific group is on this chart, and there's also more listed on the links on this page. They're a great resource that are put out by the curriculum content teams to give you supplementary ideas. It's like, for this unit, here are some great extensions or some activities that we suggest you try. Again, your curriculum is going to be already built out for you in curriculum and instruction, but these groups are a great way to kind of keep the pulse of what's going on district-wide in your specific content area. And you can join as many or as few as you'd like to get that information. Within Schoology, this snapshot up in the upper left shows a piece of the Schoology, our learning management system. And in the upper right is the curriculum map. So again, because all of these tools are under one umbrella of PowerSchool, they talk to each other fairly seamlessly. So you're able to easily get to your curriculum within the Schoology learning management system to see what's coming up, what's the next unit look like, let me start building that out. This slide has lots of information about how to use that. And again, your educational technology department instructional coaches can help provide support with you if this is new and you need some more support. So don't feel like you're alone on this. We can give you lots of support on how all these systems work to help facilitate teaching. I mentioned Teacher Portal before as a great resource. These next few slides show some of the pages of Teacher Portal. It's kind of broken into 4 main sections, and we'll go through each one. And we've highlighted some of the links up to tools that you probably will be using a lot. So again, just to familiarize yourself with Teacher Portal as a way to find the links to other systems or reports that you may need as a teacher. The different sections of Teacher Portal are up here at the top. There's a classroom management section, assessment and instruction, goals and professional learning, and teacher and HR support. This page shows all the links related to classroom management. These also constantly are updated. This screenshot is a little bit old, and as things change in the district, there's a team centrally that updates these links and cleans them up. I won't go into all these details. There's a lot here, but I just wanted to show, again, highlight that this is a great place to get to other resources you may need as a teacher. Here's the assessment and instruction piece of Teacher Portal. Again, we've highlighted Schoology curriculum groups, CMAS data if you need that to inform your instruction. This academic technology menu up here in the upper right is a great resource if you're wondering, as a new teacher, what online tools can I and my students use? What's approved for use? You can find and search for tools and find out what is approved and what isn't approved in the district for use by students. So that's a great resource. We call it the ATM, Academic Technology Menu. On the Goals and Professional Learning tab, again, lots of information about you as a professional educator, around LEAP, which is our teacher professional growth system. Links to what we call Learning Space, which is where you would have to register for courses for professional learning. SLO guidance, those are the student learning objectives that all teachers have to create. Again, links to all those things can be found here. And finally, the teacher and HR support page, lots of information about how to integrate or how you as a DPS employee can find resources around your role in DPS. All right, Infinite Campus. Again, that is our student information system. These slides will just kind of go over some of the big pieces of Infinite Campus that you're going to be interacting with as an educator. Taking attendance. We need to know where kiddos are. So every day you will be taking attendance in your courses. This screen describes how that process works. I won't go through all the details. Again, you can review this on your own. It's fairly intuitive. Students need to be marked present absent or tardy every day. So make sure that you're doing that. Attendance is a daily requirement for all schools. At 612, it's a requirement, I believe, in all courses as well, all sessions. The conference tab, you might want to check with your school about how they're leveraging the conference tab. This is a way to document if you have communication with a student's family or care providers, and just kind of what the nature of that correspondence was, just to help have a record of what communication has occurred around a student with their family or other folks. Again, check with your school about how they want you to be using or not using the conference tab, but this is the information about how to access that. Rosters, again, you can find your student rosters for all your classes and sessions in Infinite Campus. The screenshots show you how to access that. One useful piece of the rosters in Infinite Campus is it shows you what are called flags. If you hover over these in the live system, it'll give you a little text box that explains what each of these symbols mean. But it's a way to find out, do I have students that are on individualized education plans? Do I have students that are designated gifted and talented? Do I have students with some medical conditions that I should be aware of? So the rosters in Infinite Campus have lots of information that are very useful. Electronic hall passes, again, check with your school. Some schools utilize these, some schools don't. Basically, it's a way to, within Infinite Campus, issue a hall pass that helps everyone with access to the system kind of know where a student should be, if they've gone to the nurse's office or if they've asked to go to the bathroom. And these can be customized on a school-by-school level, according to kind of what they want to keep track of in terms of students' locations. But it can be a very useful place. That way, all stakeholders kind of know where students should be at all times. Finally, within Infinite Campus itself, if there's a certain tool, let's say the Teacher Hall Pass view, you can star that within the actual tool itself, and then there's a section on the left in Infinite Campus called Favorites, which will show any tool that you've starred. So it's a nice way for you to kind of bookmark or star certain tools that you go back to a lot that then you can find easily by clicking Favorites. All right, let's get into some of the instructional tools that you can use in DPS as a teacher. Again, I mentioned that academic technology menu, the ATM. This is the website for it, atm.dpsk12.org. And on this platform, you can search by the name of an application to find out if it is approved for use with students or not approved, and the details on that. We take student data privacy very seriously in DPS. And also, as of July 1st, 2025, Colorado has a digital accessibility law. That means any platform that staff or students interface with digitally on a screen needs to be in compliance with certain standards of that law to be accessible. And if certain tools do not meet that threshold of compliance, we cannot allow them to be used by staff or students in the district. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to your EdTech digital coach or contact DOTS. But again, not every platform that's just out there is available for use by staff and students. So do check this site. If there is a tool that is not approved, that you don't see on this list, you can actually request via a DOTS incident to have that tool reviewed. It's reviewed for student data privacy, accessibility, information security, and the content team also takes a look at it. All those hoops have to be jumped through and approved in order for that tool to be allowed for use in DPS. But that it is possible to have a new tool that's not listed here reviewed and possibly approved. Here are some of the instructional tools that are approved in DPS. When I say approved, that doesn't mean that it's paid for by DPS. Some schools pay for these tools on a school-by-school basis. Some teachers choose to use just the free tier of these tools. I'll go over kind of the different ones here. I mentioned Schoology, that is paid for by the district. That's our main platform, again, for coursework, online coursework in DPS. Pear Deck is another tool that some schools choose to pay for the premium features of, but it has a lot of free features that are great. It integrates with Google Slides to, as you're presenting a slide, you can push out the slides to students' devices, their Chromebooks. They can be following along, and you can even have little quick polls or formative assessment questions appear on their screens. So as they're learning the content, you get feedback as a teacher. Are they understanding? Where are they at? That's a pretty cool tool as well. Google Translate, we feel it keeps getting better and better with lots of languages. We have over 50 different languages spoken in the district by students and families, so having some sort of a tool to help bridge the gap with those foreign languages is very important. Edpuzzle is approved for use. This allows you to pull in a video, say a YouTube video on content, and then you can customize it by adding questions into the video. So as a student is watching it, the video will pause where you wanted it to pause. Your question will appear, student will have to think about it, respond to the question, and then the video continues. So it's a way to make video viewing much more accountable and give you data as a teacher of how are they understanding it, did they watch the whole thing, did they answer things correctly. Read and Write is an extension that allows for accessibility, for example, text-to-speech on any website for students that need that sort of oral support. You can contact EdTech about what that would look like. If students are designated as multilingual MLE students learning English, they have access to the full feature set of Read and Write. Kahoot is available in the district. We do not pay for the full premium parts of Kahoot. Some schools do pay for that. That's a great kind of a gamifying quiz building platform. Magic School is our approved artificial intelligence tool in the district that is paid for by the district. You can just log in with your Google account to that as a teacher, and that has lots of pre-built kind of AI applets that let you write a better email to a parent or get DOK questions for a certain content lesson. Lots of stuff in there that you should definitely check out. Also within Magic School, a teacher has the ability to create rooms with specific tools to then give students a link to access so a student can safely be interacting with an AI tool of your choosing, and you get to see on the back end all the interactions that student has with that tool. Let's say it's a writing feedback tool or a science fair project brainstorming tool. Those are really fascinating, and your EdTech coaches can show you how that works. Land School is a platform that we have access to throughout the district if you want. As a teacher, you can see your students' screens in a dashboard on your laptop or computer. So if there's a use for that, it lets you have some accountability of what students are doing on their Chromebooks in the classroom. Also for younger students, it lets you push out a website to all students to get them going faster than having them type in long website addresses. Finally, Canva is paid for in the district. Full feature set. It's a wonderful publishing, editing, graphic design, brainstorm tool. It also has some approved AI elements built into that. If students want to do some of the text to image AI generation, they can do that within Canva safely. It'll have guardrails around that, appropriate use, etc. Finally, we do have some resources for students in terms of ebooks, reading, and also research. Let me go over Sora. Sora is our ebook platform in the district. Thousands and thousands and thousands of digital books that students can check out and read. Also, audiobooks are available and in many languages. Magazines, all sorts of materials for students to access if they do not have access to print materials. or they want to keep reading at home and not have to bring home books, they can do it through Sora. Also, lots of titles in there for staff members, for professional learning, lots of great stuff in Sora. Lion is our district website. You could click on that image to take you to Lion. Every school has a page within Lion that shows what kind of research databases are available to their students. So we want students, if they're doing a research project or something like that, not just to go to Google and Google it, but we have the Gale educational databases in there, really fine, high quality, curated, vetted resources that students can use for much better quality research and learning that way. And down below are some of the folks on our amazing library services team in DPS, Chelsea, Pete, and Jen. You can reach out to them with any questions about Sora or these Lion resources. Clever is a platform used in the district. Again, this kind of depends upon your school, so check with your teammates in your school if they're using Clever. Basically, it's kind of an in-between platform that allows students and teachers to log into other platforms more easily, because we know, especially at the elementary level, just logging into lots of different things, that can be so time consuming, it takes away from instructional time and learning. So Clever is a way to ease that login for students to, say, Canva or Amplify, our reading and science curriculum. So again, check with your team if they're using Clever. The link on this page is our specific DPS link into Clever. I'm not going to say more here. Check with your team. And I mentioned Magic School as our artificial intelligence tool in DPS. Our educational technology team is doing a lot of work to try to get our arms around AI, figure out what it means for our teachers and our students, best practices around that, how that's going to affect learning and instruction moving forward in the district. We do have a handbook on AI and DPS. You can access that via this link. It's got fantastic resources. It even has resources that you could then share with your colleagues or even parents about how DPS is approaching the use of artificial intelligence in schools. And again, I mentioned the two platforms that we do have approved for AI use, Magic School and Canva. We do have legal agreements with both of these platforms, so none of the interactions or use of these products is then used to train these models or to go outside of our use with these tools. So it's a very safe, legally contained usage of AI that allows both our staff and students to start exploring what can these tools do? How can they improve teaching and learning? Some information on Magic School, how to log in. Again, sign in with Google. That's the easiest way on most of these platforms. You don't have to type in your username and password. Just click that sign in with Google. If you're already signed in to, like, say, Gmail, it'll take you straight in. Canva, same thing. Log in with Google there, continue with Google. And that's about it. So that is a quick overview of a lot of the DPS systems for you as an employee of the district, and also systems that you and students can use to enhance teaching and learning in the district and instruction. Hopefully that was useful. If you have any questions, go back to that slide, either your DOTS partner or STR if you have technical questions about your accounts or your device. If you need instructional technology support, check out that slide with your educational technology instructional coach. Reach out to them. They can be a great resource to help you understand the landscape of instructional technology in DPS. All right. Thanks so much for working for DPS, and have a great school year.